All praises to Yahweh. All praises to Yahweh Shai. All praises for the Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone that have been and continue to teach the true gospel. Salute to the Akim, spreading the true gospel on the streets and lanes of the city, on the highways and hedges, and on the World Wide Web. Much love to the Homo Akwath, who learn science with all subjection and are in righteous order under the men of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. It's the brother Raza from the Church of Philadelphia camp. And hey, the Lord has put in my spirit, what's going on, and has been going on for quite some time, is prophecy, right? You heard Trump the other day say that if Iran doesn't make a deal with them, that they're going to send bombs over there. But he said one thing that is very familiar to the men of the Lord. He said Israel is going to lead the bombing campaign. And to the men that have the spiritual eyesight, hey, we go right to this precept, because that's what it's all about. Israel has been complaining to the United States that Iran is trying to make a nuclear bomb. And they say they can't have it. They can't have it. They can't have it. Everybody else can have it though, right? What type of hypocrisy is that? It's like you telling another grown man that I can have this, but you can't. Right? Just think about that. Just think about that. Other people can have an arsenal, but they got you on timeout. As a grown man, as a sovereign nation, you can't do this, but we can. Wow. So, hey, we'll see what happens. They're supposed to meet on Saturday, right, for some talks. But, hey, we know what's going to happen. In the end of the day, is World War III. And this precept talks about it perfectly, right? Not just this one, but, throughout the scriptures, right? And, it talks about Russia's going to be a guard to Persia, right? And that's who Iran are. They're the Persians. Even though Russia put out a statement saying that they don't necessarily have to defend them. But we know what the scriptures say. So, hey, Yahweh is true and every man a liar. We know that. We know there's been a lot of talk. We know there's been so much talk about peace and safety. Hey, but what does the scripture say? As soon as they shall show peace and safety, then sudden destruction come up upon them. Right? So there's a whole lot of conversation, that's happening and it can happen. And that does happen. But we know the truth. And the truth is found in the scriptures, not in men's mouth. Because some people, as soon as they speak lies. As soon as they open their mouth, they're lying. How I know you're lying is because you're talking. But enough of me, Now let's get into this precept. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of Yahweh. Hey, hear ye the counsel of Yahweh. And who's got a more perfect counsel than Yahweh? By Hashem Yahweh Shai? Nobody. He's the creator of all things. His counsel shall stand at all times. How are you going to match that? You worried about what these leaders are saying. You worried about what's in the a newspaper or a news station or online. And half the time they're lying there too. Being deceptive and sending out different codes that other people can pick up. Coded language. just being a deceiver. That's rampant. But it says, therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he hath against Babylon. Who's Babylon here? Hey, America. And his purpose is that he hath purpose against the land of the Chaldeans. Again, talking about America. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Yeah, and how they draw them out? Into a war. Leading them into a war. That's why they moved strategic military assets over there. Because Israel is leading them into the war with them. And Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, hey, they're going to respond. There's no coincidences that they have done military drills together. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that they already have cooperation with one another and have signed different agreements with one another, both monetary and military agreements with one another. It's not a coincidence. It's all prophecy. Right? It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. And that least of the flock is talking about Israel, drawing out the bully, America, into a war. But hey, don't take my word for it. Look at the prophecy. Look at what the brothers have been saying for decades and decades about this very same thing. And now it's coming to the light. And if you can't see it, you can't see it. If you can't get it, you can't get it. And you won't get it. Because the Lord has, again, made you deaf, dumb, and blind. But hey, and we get persecuted because we speak the truth. Because we forewarn you and let you know what's going to happen. But it's in the scriptures. This is thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. This is not thus saith me. I have nothing, no power to do anything. Right? The power is Yahweh's. Why Yahweh Shai? That's the power. We're just the mouthpieces. But we're the mouthpieces according to the scriptures, not the mouthpieces according to our own thoughts. Our thoughts are based on the scriptures. You know? Not our vain opinions. Everybody's got an opinion, right? Doesn't make it valid. But hey, we know the scriptures are reliable and valid. The only thing on earth that's reliable and valid at all times is the scriptures. And that's what we're going to go off on. So you persecute us, you falsely accuse us because we tell you the truth. Hey, am I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Yeah, we're the enemy of the state now. So when you see all these different laws being passed, it's being passed so they can come down and persecute us. And people think it's just a normal, natural thing because of what we've been accused of. But that's the cross we bear. You know? That's hey, men of the Lord were persecuted back then. They're persecuted now. We see it all throughout the scriptures. So that's us counting the cost. Right? So it is what it is. So it says, the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely shall make. Let me get that. Surely shall make their habitation desolate with them. Yeah. And This place is going to be so desolate, hey, it's not going to be inhabitable. Israel going to be so desolate, hey, we're going to have to build it back up. The other nations are going to build it back up for us. It says, verse 46, at the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. Babylon is falling, it's falling. And that's what's going to happen. So all those nations that Babylon made rich are going to, it's going to be no more. But now the earth is going to be right side up, instead of upside down. Righteous instead of wicked. Good instead of evil. Because we're going to be living by the law, statutes, commandments written in our inward parts. That's going to be a glorious day. It's going to be a glorious day. And we can't wait. Hey, Lord willing, video was edifying to the elect. Until next time, shalom.